Save $1.10 on Purdue fresh chicken leg quarters, only $1.79 per pound. For a great snack, red and black plums, just $2.99 a pound, saving $2. 4 rolls Charmin Ultra Soft or Strong Toilet Tissue, just $5.25. Hot price on select varieties of Kraft shredded cheese, only $3.59 for an 8-ounce bag. Save $2.56 on Halo Top ice cream, only $6.49 for a 1-pint tub. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Tuesday, July the 10th, 2018. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. The battle to prevent the development of Shelley Bay Beach has escalated, with a local MP stating he is backing residents opposed to the scheme. Hamilton East MP Derek Burgess says he stands with those who do not want to see a planned concession stand and more beach activities for visitors. And Tarai Trott has been following that story.
According to Area MP Derek Burgess, to understand the importance of Shelley Bay Beach, you have to delve into the history books.
Shelley Bay Beach is the only public beach available to the public. And we only had this since probably the mid-60s to late 60s. I stand to be corrected on that, for us to use. Once upon a time, the residents of Smith Parish and Hamilton Parish only had one beach to go to, and that was John Smith Beach, which was segregated. One half was whites, one half was blacks. Now, since we got this beach, it's very small, as you can see. We don't need nothing in this area. We want every piece of property in this particular area preserved for people to come out and enjoy themselves. And it makes no difference to us where they come from. They can come from Timbuktu. We want them to enjoy themselves.
Mr. Burgess echoes other residents who say they do not want Shelley Bay to become a Horseshoe Bay or a Tobacco Bay beach.
You don't want the case of a Tobacco Bay or a Horseshoe Bay to come here.
You know, I'm not really too concerned about that. I'm really concerned about this beach on Hamilton Parish. You know, as I said earlier, this beach was given back to us in the 60s. And we just want to preserve it. This is the only beach we have, the only one.
In response, officials at the Bermuda Tourism Authority, the BTA, say a concession stand and tourism-related activities on the beach would create economic opportunities for Bermudians and provide tourists with family-friendly activities, something BTA data shows they are interested in.
The location of where you put concessions doesn't make us any friendlier. In fact, as we told them on March 28th, and then Glenn Jones had a meeting with myself and Ms. Griffiths on June the 12th, over there, on the other side, and we pointed out to him where they can put whatever they want to put, provided they get permission. Just not on this beach. And we've been that way for years. We want to preserve this. And I tell you, the people are prepared to do whatever's necessary in order to preserve this beach.
Instead, Mr. Burgess and some area residents say if there is going to be a concession stand, it should only be located on the grassy park area above the beach and playground and not on or near the actual beach. Elsewhere, the Hamilton East MP is disappointed that the BTA never consulted with his group, despite promising to do so at a June 12th meeting at Francis Patton.
And it was a very well-packed meeting, very well attended. And the people at that meeting told them we don't want any rentals on this beach because of the size of the beach. We don't want no paddle boats, no jet skis, because this beach is really for children and the elderly in particular. No bars. And no bars or anything of that sort. Now, they told them, you know, they told us before any decision will be made, they will come back to the people. They haven't done that. We see all sorts of applications in the newspapers to planning for different things for here, and they haven't come back to the people.
And when contacted about Mr. Burgess's remarks, Glenn Jones of the Bermuda Tourism Authority said the BTA also opposes commercialization of the beach.
I would actually agree with that statement. We don't support commercialization of the beach either. What we're believing in is entrepreneurialism, and we're believing in small mom-and-pop operations who can be at the beach in a temporary, non-permanent environment and provide the kinds of services that people want when they go to a beach, like a cool drink, popsicles, snowballs, inflatable toys to rent, to use at the beach. That's what we're really focused on, improving the amenities, enhancing the experience for the people who are already using the beach and for people who would like to use the beach in the future. And we think we can do that in a way that is limited and still preserves the culture of that beach.
Mr. Burgess said his group told the BTA if there is to be a concession stand, it should be located on the upper grassy park area and not on the playgrounds or on the actual beach area. Is this something the BTA has considered?
Absolutely, it has. We've been consulting with MP Burgess and the other MPs from that area, including the two Ferbert MPs, and we have taken that idea to the Ministry of Public Works. Ultimately, it is their call where the beach concession should go. Of course, the BTA doesn't have ultimate control over Shelley Bay Park, and whatever they decide, we're willing to go along with. But my understanding is they are very seriously looking at the feasibility of making that move.
More importantly, Mr. Burgess and his group is disappointed the BTA allegedly failed to consult with them before the BTA advances plans, despite a promise supposedly from a tourism authority to do so at a June 12th meeting at Francis Patton. What's your response?
Well, we have committed to go back to the community with specific proposals once we have them all in, and that is what we plan to do. Right now, we're still considering proposals. There are people still coming to us with ideas. One interesting fact is that of the proposals we've received thus far, half of them come from Hamilton Parish residents.
Asked about Hamilton Parish residents submitting proposals for the beach, Mr. Burgess said that 50% of 8 to 10 proposals does not address the main concern of residents who oppose the plans. In other news, the Shadow Minister of National Security, Michael Dunkley, has criticized Tourism Minister Jamal Simmons, accusing him of giving weak excuses for the lack of progress in opening a casino. Mr. Dunkley says it's been almost 1 year since the PLP won a mandate to govern, and there has been too little movement towards legalizing casino gambling.
In March, the minister came out with a statement in the House of Assembly and said that without further delay, we'll be moving forward with regulations, because contrary to what the minister said last night in your exclusive interview, he said at that time in March, 4 months ago now, that the blockage had been removed and they would move forward. Well, clearly here we are now 4 months on, the minister still talking about that blockage and still blaming the government from a year ago. Look, regulations were ready in June of last year, but not tabled because an election was called. If this government deemed it necessary to review those regulations, to rewrite those regulations, fine. They can go ahead and do that. They've got a mandate to govern. But it's been a year and we've heard one excuse after the other. So you can't stand in the House of Assembly on March 5th of this year and say without further delay we're moving forward because we've broken that blockage, and then come back 4 months later after I've raised questions about the lack of progress to say that finally we've removed the blockage. You can't have it both ways as a politician. Your record speaks, the answer stands for itself. I asked questions about the next executive officer, and the minister did say that there'd be an acting position, Deborah Brakney, who I believe has been with the commission from the beginning. However, I was a little bit curious to notice that the minister talked about doing due diligence and referred to investigations on the former executive officer. Mr. Schutz was hired. The due diligence was done when he was hired before. He came to Bermuda, did a tremendous amount of work to move it forward. For the minister to blame the resignation of the former executive officer, or to refer to an investigation that went nowhere on his inability to progress forward for a new executive officer, is just inexcusable and a pretty weak excuse.
And if the government says regulations legalizing gambling are enacted in October, it will still take months for a casino to open. We'll have more for you after this short break, including news of an unexpected visitor, plus including the latest weather news. Stay with us.
You can count on us.
Save more than half price on seedless red grapes, only $2.99 per pound. Certified Angus beef top sirloin steak, just $8.99 per pound. Select varieties of Purex 2X laundry detergent, only $4.99 for a 50-ounce bottle. Select varieties of Arizona drinks, just $7.99 for a 12-pack. Nestle's Cheerios cereal, only $4.99 for a 397-gram box. All stores are open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
I didn't order this one. This is the wrong item.
What? These are the wrong size.
I wanted white pants for the white party.
These are way too big.
Oh my gosh, this is not what I ordered.
Finally in Bermuda, announcing Mailboxes Unlimited's Internet Return Hub. Now for an 85% savings. No matter how you brought your items into Bermuda, you can return your items back to the U.S. easily. Mailboxes Unlimited's Internet Return Hub. Stop by today.
Welcome back. Three major players in the UK's bid to leave the EU are here in Bermuda, raising questions as to what this might mean. It has been confirmed that Nigel Farage is among the trio. His presence on the island has been inadvertently receiving widespread attention after businessman John Layfield posted a picture of himself and Mr. Farage on social media. It's understood that accompanying Mr. Farage to the island are Aaron Banks and Andy Wigmore. Both men are considered to be among the architects of Brexit. Mr. Wigmore was at one point Director of Communications for Mr. Banks' Leave EU campaign. The three men reportedly arrived yesterday and are to be staying at a Tuckerstown residence as guests of a local resident. Attempts to reach the individual as Mr. Chris Mayberry have so far been unsuccessful. Speculation has been rife as to the reasons why the three men are here, ranging from taking a vacation to advising government on the path to independence. A senior government official who we asked that question and asked to not have their name used dismissed the latter as, quote, utter rubbish. Turning to weather news, more sunshine, some passing showers for the next few days. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and you can see the satellite right behind me here. Here is Chris, and you can see the well-defined center of circulation. And I know it looks a little scary here, but it's actually going to stay away from us, and this is going to be within anywhere from 300 to 400 miles away as it works its way to the north and east over the next couple of days. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. It's creating some rough seas, and we will see some rough seas for us here across the island, and we'll also see the winds picking up as well. But right now for this Tuesday evening, temperatures holding steady in the low 80s, our humidity between 80 and 85%. Winds are coming in out of the southwest, 12 to 16 knots, the water nice and comfortable. However, the next couple of days we will see some unsettled weather, and that will be more in the form of a cold front associated with Chris. So we'll have some showers around in the days to come. Waves inside the reef 2 to 3 feet, outside 4 to 7 feet, and there will be some tricky times outside of the reef over the next couple of days as the water is going to be a bit choppy at times. Overnight tonight, we're calling it partly cloudy and breezy. It definitely stays warm and humid for this Tuesday night, 77 degrees. How about that for an overnight low temperature? Marine alerts, we've got them right up here for you. A small craft warning. This is pretty much throughout the day on Wednesday. It goes into effect Wednesday morning and continuing through the afternoon hours on Wednesday. So keep that in mind if you're planning to head out toward the water. Here are your tidal times. Our low tide coming in at 1:38 a.m., and that is on Wednesday morning. So what can we expect for tomorrow? Middle of the work week, 83 degrees for your high temperature, partly sunny, but it will be breezy at times again as that storm system pulls away, and we will allow for some showers and also some thunderstorms as well. So I want to show you our futurecast here, just kind of pinpointing what we can expect in the days to come. Here is Chris. Again, it's going to pass to our north and west. So by the time we get into tomorrow morning, it continues to move on out of here. The seas will be choppy. And what we are going to see happening here is a boundary coming off the east coast. That is going to bring us some scattered showers. And that boundary is going to stall over us over the next couple of days, so we are looking at an uptick in the moisture. We're also still watching the remnants of Beryl down here toward Hispaniola. We could see some of that rainfall moving to our area. That would be later on this week, closer to the weekend. Here's a look at the Gateway forecast. Pretty nice if you're doing some traveling out that way. And we are keeping our eye on the tropics right now with some enhanced moisture and showers and storms. Here's your extended forecast. Some storms possible Wednesday and Thursday. If we get anything from Beryl, it'll be increasing moisture, and that'll arrive later on this week.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
It's hurricane season. Here are some tips from BF&M. Before a storm, make sure you have a family plan. Stock up on food and water and protect your home. Board up and make sure your insurance policies are up to date. After a storm, check everyone's safety, especially seniors. Inspect your property and secure from further damage. Then note the damages, list, and take photos. Remember, you can always count on BF&M 24/7 during hurricane season and all year round.
Attention neighbors, I just got a great night's sleep on my Beauty Rest mattress, so I am feeling refreshed, recharged, and ready to go. This means for the next 24 hours, I will be a coiled cobra of energy and enthusiasm, ready to strike. 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 That is all. Ready to strike.
At Dreams, we don't just sell mattresses so you can get better sleep. We do it so you can be awake. Dreams, the mattress professionals.
Okay, well, no. Come on, man. Come on, man.
There's a myriad of snacks out there, something special for everyone on match day, and you're likely to find them at Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Deshae.
Thank you for taking the time to show me your car today.
Oh, my pleasure. This is the Kia Soul EV, and that EV stands for electric vehicle. I picked the Kia Soul because it didn't look like an electric car. It looked like a regular car.
And what would you say are some of the key benefits of the electric car?
The number one is the money saved. It rides smooth as can be. I'm sure getting an electric vehicle is one of my best decisions.
Well, it's a tricky question, but what in your life has molded you into the person you are? But it's a query that 12 senior citizens are endeavoring to answer by writing their memoirs. And of course, sponsored by the Ministry of Community and Cultural Affairs. Reverend Dr. Gwyneth Lightbourne is one of the 12 and sat down to talk with Jasmine Patterson. But she began by remembering some of the scripture she shared with her father.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son.
It's a short passage in the Bible, but it's had a most powerful impact on her life.
But have everlasting life. As a little girl of 12, my dad was sick, and my job was to go and sit by his bedside and read the Bible.
Reverend Dr. Lightbourne says she bonded with her father by reading to him during these moments while her mother took care of the household. But one day, as she returned from a summer job, tragedy struck.
I went into the room, and all I saw was the mattress on the bed. And I said to myself, if I had the slightest inkling that this would be the last time I'd see my dad, I would never have left home that day.
Mrs. Lightburn decided from the day of her father's funeral to carry on his wishes for her to live a good Christian life, leaving her 3 sisters and mother behind to pursue an education in Canada.
It was difficult to say goodbye because I knew that she was depending on me. And I had to be the one to do well. And I did just that.
Mrs. Lightburn won a scholarship to attend the renowned Queen's University and McMaster's in Canada, becoming one of a few black women to get an overseas education at the time. She would later complete her second master's degree at Columbia University in New York City. The Reverend was recognized for her charitable work in the community by SICA in Toronto, Canada. And she still spends her time visiting sick people in hospital or those wanting to feel uplifted, with no sign of slowing down.
Every morning I'm up 6 o'clock. The first thing I do, I go in my study and I read my Bible. And then I have a little book that I look to read. It's called Daily Bread. And I get little helps from that, and it keeps me going. Then I come out and I exercise.
Her memoir is set to be published in a collection called Bermudian Memoirs for Young People, edited by Mrs. Florence Webb Maxwell and Dr. Kim Dismont Robinson. The participants in the 5-week workshop were tasked with writing stories from their lives they feel might inspire the younger generation.
I went to Central. When the wind blew a certain way, all the fumes and stench from the dump came in our window. But Central School produced doctors, lawyers, reverends, plumbers, carpenters, you name it.
So a life grounded in faith and a desire to help others has given Mrs. Lightburn a life beyond her wildest dreams, with 3 children and a long, happy marriage. Now, at the age of 91, it's back to the classroom, with finishing her homework once again a priority.
Still to come, Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news. That's in just a few minutes.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
From happy beginnings and life choices that we make along the way,
Colonial protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
health insurance with far-reaching benefits,
Family protection and long-term financial plans.
business insurance and generous employee benefits.
For happy beginnings to happy ever after, visit CGIGroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
Now with the rest of sports news is Earl Basin.
Daniel Phillips' run on the Caribbean Junior Tennis Circuit has been extended again as he continued to compete in Jamaica at the Kotak Under-14 tournament. Playing in Group 2 of the division, Phillips defeated Delano Reeves from Jamaica in straight sets 4-love, 4-love. Tyler Butterfield competed in the Ironman European Championships in Frankfurt, Germany yesterday. He would finish 7th overall in a time of 8 hours, 38 minutes, and 58 seconds. Meanwhile, on a balmy Saturday afternoon in Hungary, 6 sprint triathlons, 3 women and 3 men, filled the streets to decide the names that would compete in Sunday's finals. Erica Hawley competed in semi-final number 1 of the elite women's race, finishing 12th with a time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 50 seconds to miss out on advancing. Junior Caribbean Squash Championships continued in Jamaica, and the big news is that Team Bermuda have a finalist. Taylor Carrick pulled off an upset, defeating number 2 seed Kaya Bendick 3-1 in the boys under-17 division. Carrick defeated Bendick 4-11, 11-6, 11-5, 11-8. Carrick will now face the boys under-17 division number 1 seed Kamal Cumberbatch from Barbados in the final. Following the Western County Cup and First Division cricket action over the weekend, we now take a look at the top performers with both bat and ball. In the batting department, Shannon Rayner, representing the Southampton Rangers, was the top scorer with a knock of 89. With 67 not out, Dion Stovall, also of Southampton Rangers, had the second highest score, and Jadero Tucker made it 1, 2, and 3 for the Southampton Rangers when he was the next highest scorer with a knock of 55. In the bowling department, yet another Southampton Rangers player, Vernon Eve, had the best figures of 8.1 overs, no maidens, 5 for 38. Randy Bean had the second best figures of 7.4 overs, 1 maiden, 4 for 30, representing PHC. And Shanari Boyle-Simons, representing Warwick Workmans, had the third best figures of 9.5 overs, no maidens, 4 for 33. Taiwan Miners competed in the Sunshine and Show Jumping Grand Prix Summer Series in Florida. Miners and Just Ask Eric are putting the final touches on their preparation for the upcoming CAC Games in Colombia. Competing in the $25,000 National Grand Prix, Miners and Just Ask Eric finished 6th. The pair would also compete in the $5,000 Welcome Stakes. They were unlucky, knocking down one rail and finished 7th. Meanwhile, Jillian Teixeira concluded competing in the No-K International Horse Jumping event in Belgium. Teixeira and Tamarino competed in the 1.40 meter in 2 phases class, finishing 20th. They clocked a clear first phase time of 49.40. Then they were clocking second phase time of 32.20, but they had 4 penalty fault points. The Bermuda Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation held their Night of Champions on Saturday evening at the Fairmont, Southampton. Julian Johnson was crowned the men's overall physique champion. Monica Texeria was the women's figure champion and also the bikini champion. The women's physique champion was Jerry D. Deers. The men's classic physique was won by Julian Johnson, with Sundar Singh winning the men's physique class A. Johnson would also win the men's physique class B. The master's physique was won by Paul Simons, as well as the men's bodybuilding division. Team Bermuda is in Jamaica competing in the Junior Caribbean Squash Championships. Day 1 proved to be a good day for the Bermuda players. Matthew Elliott defeated his opponent from Jamaica, Daniel James, 3-0, while Graham Moss defeated Dalen Vass from Jamaica 3-1. Abigail Brewer got by Ami D. Vertelli from Trinidad and Tobago 3-0, and Charlotte Toogood defeated Jinan Al-Rawi from Trinidad 3-0. Scott Barnes competed on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Battle of the Brickyard karting race. Barnes featured in the finals of the stock Honda Shifter class and finished 11th after starting 6th in the pre-final finish. A total of 27 karts stacked this particular class. Barnes jumped into the Margay 206 Ignite 49 kart class race. Barnes started 8th and went to the lead on lap 5. Barnes continued to lead the next 9 laps with a 2-kart breakaway, but he got passed on the last lap with 3 corners to go and had to settle for 2nd place. The Bermuda Motorcycle Race Club's 4th race of their Circuit Race Championship season took place at Southside yesterday. The day's racing was dedicated to Neville Ricky Beadle Darrell, a well-loved and devoted senior racer of the club who passed away in a motorcycle accident recently. The day commenced with a memorial ride for Beadle, where all riders from across the club's 4 classes joined together and took to the track in unison. The Bermuda Powerboat Association held racing off the Spanish Point Boat Club for the second of the 3 race series at that location. 2 races were held on the day, with the first race being a 25-minute race. Ryan and Richard Davidge won the A-class race, with Sunda Reina and Joshua Usher winning the B-class. Henry Tolbert and Andrew Cunningham won the S-class race. Glenn Lambert and his crew Randolph Jones are the 2018 Lawrence Stickers Henderson Memorial Comet Race winners, with action taking place off the Mid-Atlantic Boat Club on the North Shore. Lambert and Jones finished the 4-race series with 5 points, as did Dale Brinkman and his crew Kean Webb. But with Lambert recording 2 wins, he was declared the winner. Quentin Simons and his crew Greg Proctor rounded out the top 3 finishers on the day. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thanks, Earl. Well, that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Good night.